Saitama Ken, back in Saitama. Now look at all this rice. Now how does one begin to describe all this abundance? And then if you add the rain, it's just chaos, but chaos that is forming into something beautiful that's going to provide food and energy for the families that consume it. And well, that's kind of like what retro games are for our desires, and that's what brings me to the Fuji Mall. What are we going to find here? Nintendo, PC Engine, Sega, Neo Geo, Xbox, all things PlayStation. Well, here we are, Fuji Mall, the entrance. Let's go ahead and go inside. But before we get game crazy, you know what's coming. Retro ReWire game tours. If you find yourself coming to Japan, book me for a tour as well as other areas of Japan. I'll leave a link in the description. Hit me up directly on my Facebook page. And, you know, have your list ready, or your goals, your dreams, and we're definitely going to attack it, whether that's games, that's hardware, or stuff just to repair what you currently have. We'll get it done. Now, let's go ahead and go inside. Here we are at the Surugaya. Now, this is the QR code, but there's another shop, so I'm not sure which one it pertains to. But regardless, we're going to head up the stairs and see if our retro dreams are fulfilled at the Surugaya. Now, right away, we have all these display cases, but the one that really stands out is going to be this one that's full of retro gaming goodness as well as some modern stuff. Now, pricing aside, get your wish list ready because there's this case is fully loaded with a lot of great stuff. At least I was fairly impressed with what I saw. And the one of the big things here is going to be World Heroes Perfect for 57,000 yen. And I think that's reasonable for that game. 32,800 yen for the KOF 98. And then what else do we have? We have The Last Blade for 68,800 yen. Now that one I do own, so I got a little bit lucky there that I paid slightly less. But we have our Mega Drive titles. We got Steel Empire for 32,400 yen, 27,800 yen for the Kabuki El Viento, for 37,000, and 8750 for Vampire Killer. Guys, my wish list is well beyond 100,000 yen. Here we have a pair of Ninja Gaiden games for the Game Gear and the Game Boy one being fairly pricey there. And then we have Crazy Land Something for the Famicom for 53,470, 39,800 for this Famicom game, which I'm not really familiar with. But that's the great thing, you know, coming out here, there's all sorts of games that I never heard about, and, you know, they're behind the glass and super pricey, like this Transylvania 2, 37,100 yen with a beautiful looking cover, might I add. And here we have our Sega Saturn titles. And the great thing about Sega Saturn is a lot of its library is being ported over to modern platforms like Batsugan, 26,800 yen, or about 3,000 on the Switch and PS4. We have Bulk Slash for 20,500. We got Rabbit, which is a fighting game, coming in at 23,600 yen. Battle Garega for 20,800 yen, which is also available on the PS4 and the Xbox, I believe. We got Blast Wind for 29,400 something. And then 30,800 yen for Radiant Silvergun. Now that PlayStation 2 game on the left, 133,800 yen. That's going to be the most expensive game that I saw at this shop, which I've seen before, and that game is super pricey. But here we go. We got Lomax. That's one game that I've been wanting for quite some time. 23,980 next to Shadowrun. We got KO the Flying Squadron for 24,700 yen next to Dracula X there for the PC Engine. And then we got a shooter here for the PS1 coming in at 34,600 yen. LSD coming in at 84,150. And then we have a pair of survival horror games for the PlayStation 1. Now both of those games have some creepy looking covers. And then we got another copy of Airgrave for 34,600 yen. We got Super Street Fighter 2X for the Dreamcast coming in at 28,300 yen. And then a few PC Engine titles. That Soldier Blade is one that I would like to try, coming in at 26,800 yen. Down below, we got a Panasonic MSX for 78,000 next to a PC Engine magazine for 10,000, and then a couple of guidebooks, and then dual pack of the Pokemon games for the Switch. 52,000 for the disc version of the PS5, or 66,000 for the digital edition. What's going on there, guys? Not really sure, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. And one thing you're going to notice is I'm pretty much the only person here. And I went on a weekday about, I think I arrived like around 3 or 4 o'clock. So the grocery store down on the first floor was packed. But now let's take a walk. and do a little tour of the place, you know, kind of scout things out. This is before we've been disappointed by either the prices, whether we've been priced out. But, you know, pricing is relative. So for some people, you know, this is well within their means, well within their range and what they're willing to pay for. And this is also a time to just kind of get the game plan in motion. And this is one of the things that I usually do is I walk and I don't really look into too much details. I just kind of get an idea of where things are at. And then after that, you know, just go crazy, either with browsing or making purchases. But we got a lot of display cases here. There's about like 4.5 aisles worth of games. And it's just stuff everywhere, which is, this is what we want to see, you know, regardless of pricing or what they do have and what they don't have. And this is going to be the focus of the episode, or this particular episode. It's going to be what's in these showcases, and these things are loaded. So we're going to find out how much of a trap it is and whether it's worth it. For me, I want to say yes right off the bat. So let's go. Here we go. We got some Game Boy Advance. We got the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance 4,580, 6,800 there for the white one. Then we got some DS lights in various prices. A Circle Pad Pro in the box. We got a Game Boy, the original one, for 14,500 yen, and then a variety of Game Boy colors. Now definitely feel free to pause because this is going to be one long take. I didn't pause and I'm filming on the phone. But we got the new Nintendo 2DS for 45,800 yen. That's the Animal Crossing. We got the Minecraft edition for 26,000. We got the purple one here for 23,500 yen. Now, I would never really see myself buying a 2DS. Mainly, I do appreciate the design, but I'm all about that stereoscopic 3D. And I always had that thing cranked when I'm playing on the old 3DS. And then we got that Pokemon keyboard for 3,000 and a variety of 3DSs. Now, I don't know too much about Pokemon, but I do appreciate the design of those controllers there, those Joy-Cons, as well as this one. It's pretty neat looking. And then we got a couple of Pro controllers for the Switch. We got Monster Hunter Rise, Xenoblade Action, and then Splatoon. And then up above, a variety of Nintendo Switch looks like in the light format. And what do we have? We got the Armored Core Collector's Edition up there, which I actually have. That's a pretty cool collection. We got Shin Megami Tensei for the Xbox and 2 original Xbox consoles. And then some more Switch action here. What else do we have here? We got the Hori Switch, the little mini arcade stick. And then we have that red Switch in the back. I've never seen that before, which is kind of cool looking. We got a Pocket Monsters little theme action something there going on. We got, what is this, a DS XL in a variety of prices, and they all look to be having a little bit of notes there. And sometimes it's just because it's damage on the box. What else do we have here? We got some 3DSs, which one is coming in at 5,050. That's going to be the least expensive one, but it does have a little tag there saying something may be missing or some damage. We got a variety of Wiimotes there. And as we make our way, we'll just get a little overview of what's to come. Now, this one had some hardware that I was definitely interested in. But let's just start up at the top here. We got an Xbox One X, a PlayStation 3. That's going to be the fat. And then we got a Duo R and a Dreamcast, 15,500 yen, and that box looks very, very clean. And then coming in at the top, we got the SN30 Pro Bluetooth gamepad. And we got a Super Game Boy 2 there. What else do we have here? And we'll have another closer look here, but let's go up above. We got the Wonder Swan Color, 12,500 yen there. And then we got a pair of Neo Geo Pockets. And then to the left, we got a GameCube Game Boy controller. And that thing was just shy of 20,000 yen. Here we got the Hori one for 5,820. And then we have this pin adapter for the Famicom. Allows you to play NES games for 5,500 yen. And that's something that you don't really see too often. We got a Virtual Boy for 38,350. We got a Famicom Disk System for 8830, and that box looks pretty good. But this Super 32X 38,950, that's something that I'm definitely interested in. We got a Mega CD 2 for 20,000, and then 19,760 for the Neo Geo CD, and then we have 15,000 for the AV Famicom. And that's not in too bad of shape there. And then we're gonna make our way into the PlayStation Vita stuff here. And one of those is a 3G model there, the one that had the little Docomo on the tag. as well as oh look, there's a PlayStation Vita TV for 22,400 yen. That's not something that I don't really see those all too often nowadays. Then down below, we got a Final Fantasy 3 DS Lite Edition coming in at 15,800 yen. And then here's the little shooting attachment for the Move, 2980. Then we got a PS3, 31,800, and that's going to be fully compatible, PS2, PS1. We got a PS4 Pro and a couple of limited edition ones. With that Spider-Man one, that thing looks pretty mean. I am a big fan of Spider-Man, but I don't think I would quite go that far as being that hardcore, but still, it's a pretty cool design. Then we got the Brooks adapter there, and then a variety of Sony handheld systems. So just so much stuff is just packed into these cases. My goodness. What else do we have here? We have the Sega Saturn Christmas edition. Not too bad there, coming in at 19,120. We got a PC Engine Duo for 51,800 yen. And then we got the Duo R coming in at 61,000. This is the RX actually, which I now have. I got a RX not too long ago, and I love that thing. 28,000 for the Xbox One. Looks like the vanilla one, the original. What else do we have here? We got a Core Graphics 2, it looks like, for 14,800, and a Junior, Super Famicom Junior for 12,500, which is a console that I recently purchased as well. 14,300 for the Gold N64. We got the Mega Drive 2 Mini. Got this, and then 6,190 for the Game Boy Player, and it looks like there's some damage to the box. So apart from that, I believe it is complete, which isn't bad at all. What else do we have here? We got some more stuff, more hardware, and now we're going to be making our way into the games. But up above, we have the Power Glove for 11,300 yen. We got the Super Famicom for 7,360, and then a couple of racing wheels. And for those of you that are coming with dollars and euros, man, this is not too bad of a deal, because I believe Surugaya also is a tax-free shop. And the big prices that I'm quoting, include a 10% sales tax. But what else do we have here? We got a little pouch for the Switch there. We got Choaniki. I think that's for the PSP, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got this Twilight Princess HD bundle, 13,200 yen. And then we have our PSP titles. A lot of great stuff on the PSP. We got the PC Engine collection, and then we have the HD project. What is this for? Gran Turismo HD something. I do have it. I have the digital version. Then we have Silent Hill 2 there for almost 10,000 yen. Almost. And then what do we have here? The something Saga. And then just a few games that I actually don't know too much about. I mean, it's hard to know about every single platform, but it's great that they have this stuff. What else do we have here? We got PlayStation 2 and Nintendo DS. We got the Sega Gems Collection, the Sonic Gems Collection, coming in at 12,800 yen back there. What else do we have here? It's a little bit hard to see when there's so much stuff. It makes it hard to clearly see. What is that? Community Palm. I think I've seen that one once before, but I'm not really sure what that one is about. But 9,600 yen for the Knights and 3D controller bundle. We got Nakororu, the Neo Geo Mini. We got another Super Famicom Junior there. And a variety of mini consoles coming in at a variety of prices. 6,000 there for the PS. But 16,830 yen for the Super Famicom Junior. I paid about 10,000 for mine, complete in box, although it is discolored. But whatever. And then a variety. Look at all these Square... these big boxed Square games for the PlayStation 1. I wonder what these include. Those things are pretty thick. But we got Strange Journeys, Shin Megami Tensei. That's a great game. And then just making the rounds here. A variety of DS games, which is kind of hard to see what these are. But definitely feel free to pause. You can get these details. And we got Far East of Eden there for 11,000. What else do we have? I wonder if they have the Metroid Pinball there for 9,880. Cave Story 3 for 10,700 yen. And there's even some Xbox games up above, which you're going to get to in a minute. Now, that expensive PS2 game they do have for the Switch here, or for the Wii, for 14,000 400 yen, so definitely far less expensive. Then we got Far East of Eden there for 21,100 yen for the 360. We got Outrun 2, 23,500 yen for the Xbox. And then we have Okami for the Switch coming in at 7980. And then just more collections there for the Switch. We got R-Type Final, which that includes a little cool a little figure that you have to put together. I did an unboxing of that, and definitely worth it for that. What else do we have? The Biohazard Value Pack, as well as the Rockman collection for the PS4 for 17,800 yen, and then a few more collector's editions. But all sorts of great stuff in here. Look at all this stuff. I definitely don't have room for a fraction of this, even if I wanted to buy it. But now we're going to make our way into some of these games, and there's a lot of great stuff in here. But what do we have here? We have another Dreamcast, the PS2. We have a couple of Wii's, a GameCube, a Mega Drive 2. And then on our way into the Super Famicom, we have Super Castlevania 4, Goemon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and another Goemon game. What else do we have in the back? Live Alive. We have a Rockman X3 for 13,800. Some more Prince of Persia, another copy of Super Castlevania 4, Super Metroid. What else do we have? We have Contra Spirits there coming in at 8,700 yen next to Congo's Caper at 7,170. And then we have Mickey's Adventure 3, which is kind of a pricey game, which I wonder why that is. Maybe a late release, perhaps, limited release. They also had a copy of Sin and Punishment and Biohazard 2 for the N64. We got the Game Gear Micros in a variety of colors with the big window, and then we have a Choaniki for the Wonder Swan for 6980. And now we're making our way into the Mega Drive games, as well as a few Neo Geo Pocket Color games. But oh man, I gotta say the Mega Drive, that's something that I've been picking up more games and more hardware. Although I gotta unload some of this stuff because, you know, being out here in Japan, sometimes you get a little bit crazy, and we have to put the reins on that stuff, keep it under control, if you know what I mean. But here we have some Game Boy Advance titles. Now, I really want that Street Fighter 03, but look at that, 15,800 yen. And then it looks like they have two of the 3 Castlevanias there for the Game Boy Advance. And look at that, we have Alien Storm coming in at 7,800 yen. 9,400 for Rolling Thunder 2, which we saw at the FUJI Mall, which was about 3,000 yen cheaper or less expensive. We have Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and then we have some Wonder Swan games mixed in with Game Gear and Game Boy. So a variety of handheld games. We got the GG Shinobi coming in at 8920. Haven't played that one, but it seems pretty cool from the videos that I've seen. And now we're making our way into the PC Engine and the Game Boy stuff. What else? We have Cotton there for 15,500 yen. Splatterhouse there for, it's marked down. It looks like it's coming in at 7,000 and some change. We got Big Tournament Golf for 9,600 yen for the Game Boy, or for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So 84.90 there for the Splatterhouse. And then we have some PlayStation 1 titles, which they didn't have too many in the display case, but they had quite a bit in the regular stacks. We got Twin Bee for the X6800, and this is the one game that I really wanted, which is Soulstar. I'll focus on it here shortly, as let me just kind of show you guys what else they have before we zoom in on it. But we got some Sega Saturn titles there. We got the Chase HQ collection for 10,500. And then we have Gunbird 2 for 9,400. That one I would like to pick up for the Dreamcast. And then we have Dracula X, 18,800 yen for the Sega Saturn. All sorts of great stuff in here. What is that? Gulliver's something Travels or Tales, something like that, for 9,800 yen. But there's Soulstar, 18,800 yen. And that's really the one game that I would like to purchase out of all the ones that I've seen in these display cases. Seems like a great game. What else do we have here? We have Street Fighter 02 for 16,100 yen for the Super Famicom. That game is climbing up in price. What else do we have? Super Metroid there. We have Batman Returns, Rockman 7, just a variety of stuff here. And I'm kind of going through it a little bit quicker than normal just because I'm filming on the phone. And my goodness, the battery on my phone just kind of drains like crazy. What else do we have? We got some Famicom games. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What else do we have? We got some Neo Geo Pocket action there, and then some more Mega Drive goodness there. We have Shadow Dancer coming in at 7,800 yen, 9,400 yen for Bare Knuckle. Now that's another one that at the Furuichi store, 10,300 yen for another copy of Bare Knuckle. And those games were that particular game was 6,000 yen at the FUJI Mall at the Furuichi. So definitely a big price difference there. And then there's about like 3 copies total of Thunder Force 4. So that's definitely a common game, but it's just one that has retained its value. And then here we are making our way through some more Game Boy Advance titles. Quite a bit of stuff in here. And, you know, half of the stuff I'm not even mentioning, but definitely keep a vigilant eye because perhaps what you are looking for is potentially in this display case. And then here we go with some Neo Geo CD titles as well as some more PC Engine action. We got Dai Makaimura there for the super graphics there for 17,500 yen. I would love to pick up a copy of that, mainly because I'm a huge fan of the Ghouls and Ghosts series, and I just want to get as much of it as I can, even though I won't have a way to play that game. But yeah, for the Neo Geo CD, I think my collection has peaked for that. Definitely not after everything. In fact, I'm probably going to be unloading a few things. But regardless, a great platform, and there it is, Dai Makaimura. Look at that, 17,500 yen, and it does have pretty gnarly cover art. And then here we are with the, what do we have? Abe's Odyssey there, and some Xanax, something like that. What else do we have? Some Sega Saturn titles. We got Thunder Force 5 there for 12,300 yen. We got Bangyo for 13,800 yen for the Sega Dreamcast. What else do we have there? Ikaruga for 11,800 yen, I believe. We got Metal Black for the Saturn for 6670. Another copy of Batsugan for 21,300 yen. And what else do we see here? We got Gex there with its funky, goofy-looking cover. And then a pair of the Sega Ages of the Disney games for 10,500 yen. And then this here is just to give you guys a peek of like all the action figures and toys and figures that they have, in the back. This thing is just like super, super loaded. So, if you're into like collecting more than just games, you're definitely going to be spending quite a bit of time at this shop, as well as others that are quite, similar. Like, because there's quite a few Surugayas and Omiyas, Shinjuku, Tachikawa. But in the next episode, we're going to be doing a deep dive through the regular stacks, as there is a few surprises in there as well. But it's just a lot of great stuff. But anyhow, thank you for checking out Retro ReWire, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.